Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Terry and Max are here. I don't know if you can tell by looking at us, it's kind of hard to suppress the smiles. And I'm hoping if you're listening to a podcast, you can hear our smiles. Can't stop them. Guys, yeah, we were talking about this off camera a little while ago, but I can't get the Baby Shark song out of my head at all. It won't go away. So Max, you tweeted about it. Can you, for the people who have no clue what I'm talking about, can you inform them as to what went on at the game before we even go to our reaction? I just want to get this out of the way.
Right. So, like, where I'm sat in the family enclosure, and I've been fortunate enough to be sat by there for many years, it's quite a good position to be in the ground, in that all the subs, they just don't escape you. You know, they're like, the crowd are right on top of the subs on the touchline as they're warming up. Obviously, it's the first time Gerry Mina's getting, on the field at Goodison, his first experience. You know, it was brilliant. The Gladys Streets all stood up, give him a big round of applause. And as he's kind of come back round through the family enclosure, I swear to God, right, I thought someone had got a megaphone and started playing it on loop on a megaphone. That's how just crystal and clear it sounded. So, like, this fella, and I swear, the voice was quite an old voice as well. It wasn't like it wasn't like a kid. It wasn't like some 6-year-old kid in the family enclosure who just liked Baby Shark and Gerry Mina. It's like a grown man who's seen this Colombian international and just started going, Gerry Mina, Gerry Mina. And, like, honest to God, it went on for about 5 minutes, to the point where even the cameraman near us turned around and went on to him. And, you know, we were talking about it then, Mina and Toffee, who was on the bench as well, they were laughing their butts off at it. You know what, I hope that finds a way to break itself out at Old Trafford next week, because if we do well, I'd love to come out of there singing Baby Shark, Gerry Mina, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people on Twitter are actually responding favorably to it. So I think it has a chance to crack in, assuming Gerry Mina just gets in to play some, which we don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, right? Because the defense looks kind of stout at the moment for the most part. So Terry, you were able to see the game as well?
Yeah. I'm just on that point. Second that Mina scores from a header from a corner, and he starts that dancing in the corner at the corner flag. You know that Baby Shark Gerry Mina song's going to get going, especially at an away ground. I can't wait.
I know, I can't wait. I'm excited.
I was already excited enough to see the guy dance in the corner because I've seen video of the guy dancing. I was talking to my friend from Colombia because he's been dying for this moment for Gerry Mina to actually play. And he started doing the dance for me, and I was just like, I know, I'm ready for that. That's gotta happen soon, right? So yeah, pretty excited. And the guy hasn't played a second yet.
No, I know.
But if it's like the rest of our people we've brought in, it'll go well. Let's react to a win, to 3 points. That 3-point feeling. Terry, opening thoughts on the 2-0 win.
Yeah, good results. It was nice to build on a good away win. I mean, it was away win means nothing if you don't build on it the week after at home. But just ticked all the boxes. It felt like, and I know a few people said this, but it felt like a Moyes era home win where an away team come to Goodison and they just set up really strong, really resolute. They just look to play a deep block and just frustrate us. Much like the Moyes teams, although we have got a lot of flair players now, it wasn't flair players that got us the goals. It was just effort and commitment, and the crowd we were involved, and we're trying to be the 12th man as well. And there's a pantomime villain of a player on the other team, in this case Zaha, and the referees causing aggro all over the place. And yeah, just a great result. Not a great performance on the eye, but doesn't matter. They all count. So happy with the win and take that on from there, hopefully.
Moved up to 8th currently as of Monday with 15 points, 3 points out of 5th. Starting to get within striking distance of actually mattering, you know, which is nice, being a part of discussions. Max, what are your thoughts on this past on Sunday's game? Maybe some man of the match contenders who you thought had strong performances?
Oh, man of the match contenders. I've been quite brash in my statement. I'm standing by Jordan Pickford in that I firmly believe that penalty save changed the game and put us on course to achieving the result. I know a lot of people have threw forward the name of Andre Gomez, and personally, I do feel like he played really well. So it's not doesn't shock me to see him being involved. Who else? I think Michael Keane, absolutely incredible performance at the back, and need to say anything about that assist. Jesus, that was better than Gerrard in his prime. That first time, inch perfect to the feet of Tosin. That was absolutely fantastic. His defensive partner Zuma did exceptionally well too. I was impressed with pretty much everyone, to be honest, and I agree with Terry in that the performance wasn't picture perfect, and I think in part that's down to the amount of times the play had to be held up due to the referee, or how physical Crystal Palace were. That obviously prevented us from playing this flowing game that we want to play. But I think it just goes to show with the character that we have to for both of those goals to be coming in the last 3 minutes of the game. That shows a resiliency, and that shows a work ethic that a top side needs. And as we climb the table, I hope we start feeling that there's a bit about us, because I do feel like with this squad depth that we've got now, the competition for places, we can only build on that and get stronger.
Yeah, the idea of having not just a starting 11, but having like a starting 14 or 15 with some interchangeable parts, with flexibility. That is the thing I will say I got the most out of this performance, was seeing our flexibility in action. To sit there and see, okay, Bernard is up. It's a tough sell with him up against Wan-Bissaka, who is a player, by the way.
Yeah.
That guy can ball. All right, that creep can roll, man. That guy was great, and Bernard had some trouble on the side there. And even Richarlison, when he went over there, he did too. That guy's sound. But to watch our manager not just make the change of formation, but also have the people to be able to do it, the pieces. Just bringing in. I was surprised to see DCL come in. I was, but you know what? That's the flexibility. That was awesome. And then I've been sitting here talking about Jing Tosin is good at this, good at that, but I said he doesn't have much pace. He outran Sacco in a foot race to actually get that goal and megged the keeper. And Jing Tosin, happy times. And Gay, another good performance from Gay.
Yeah.
And how about the new guy, Terry? What did you think about Gomez?
I was impressed. I mean, first off, he was very, very kept it simple. He didn't want to really put a foot wrong. He was quite neat and tidy with the ball, but didn't really, express himself very much. I think that was more probably nerves. Didn't want to make a mistake debut. But second half, he grew into the game a lot more and started spraying it about more than we haven't seen that for a couple of years. A player in the middle of the pitch who, I don't want to say this, but that Arteta-like position where you just sit there, very early to be getting too excited, obviously, but into that game, looks a very good player. Looks like he's got an eye for a pass, and that's what we've got all the attacking talent in the world. We just need someone in the middle to go alongside Garner who can pick the lock of the other opposition teams, because teams will do that to us, like Crystal Palace did. They'll set up really strong and robust, and we won't be able, like Bernard especially struggled, and it doesn't matter how clever you are, it doesn't matter how tricky you are, you do need that player to play it in sometimes from the middle, and he looked really good. I was really happy with him. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him as we go forward now. That team that he set out, or maybe one player in the front three switch around, but the core of that team could be in place for a good chunk of the season, I think, with Gomez there.
Yeah, and I think you'll see, Jink Tosin float in. You'll see Mina float in. You'll see maybe a center mid, Tom Davies float in every once in a while. Yeah, but I mean, besides that, I mean, that's a strong squad. Gomez was fun to watch because it was different. You had to keep your eye on him. I don't think he looks fast. He doesn't look like a speedy player. He's got long legs, though. He's going faster than you realize. He's sort of gliding around the pitch, which was, I guess I should have expected that. I mean, look at the guy. Is he going to get around the pitch any other way? He just, it just looks like a glider, But his touch on the ball, his one-touch passing, his forward passing. He's just a clever, intelligent player who seems to be thinking and having an idea what he's going to do with the ball before he gets it.
Yeah.
He's a player I've been low-key, like maybe the one I was most excited about of our signings, just because I knew we needed help in that central position. Yeah, man. That was exciting. How about Lookman, Max?
Yeah, of course you've got to laud those substitutes as much as you possibly can. To the fact that the three of them all contributed in turning the result around. Something that I think is worth picking up upon now, that if we're all loosely in agreement that 11 that we started with is our best starting 11, I think it's comforting to see the likes of Kenny, Lookman, and Calvert-Lewin all on the bench, young lads. So, for example, if you look at the situation of Ademola Lookman, where he's thinking, I should be getting in the starting 11 here, I should be playing week in, week out. I think it's good for Everton as a club to have other young lads, maybe not necessarily on the same level, but kind of on the same page as Lookman, where they're not quite breaking into the starting 11, but they're on the same page and they'll be considered to be brought on, because everyone's in the same boat there, you know what I mean, so to speak. So it kind of, as a group, they can kind of stick together, bringing the young lads through. But in terms of performance, I think it definitely, it gratifies you, and over the course of the season, he's gonna get more playing time. I hate seeing outsiders who haven't watched Everton much treat Everton as the sort of villain in the entire saga between the club and Lookman, because I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think it's the toxic atmosphere that was left last season. I think that's carried over almost and was kind of being projected throughout the whole saga. But you looked when them goals went in, Lookman was just as happy as everyone else, and like Terry said, it felt like a Moyes winning. That the spirit was there, that fighting spirit. Spirit of the Blues, it was there, and you're so excited looking forward to the future, because you feel like if we've got that the resolve to dig deep and get results late in matches, who are we going to be able to turn over? And if you think if we can maintain strong and look to take it to an opposition for 90 minutes, games like Old Trafford on Sunday, they're going to be a really interesting watch, because it really does quite feel like a new Everton.
Yeah, I saw numerous locations saying that result was harsh on Palace. Some Palace supporters, some commentators here, some pundits here in the States. And now, although I don't think we should have pounded them 4-0 or anything, I look at the fact that stats are interesting. You take one stat out of context, 60% possession compared to their 40 is not a big thing,
How many chances created? Didn't we create something insane, though? We created like 20 chances.
We had 20 shots compared to their 7. Okay? We had 10 corners compared to their 5. To me, that's indicative of a team that probably won the game. Now, 2-0 may be a little harsh on them, but I thought we should have won based on the performance, frankly. And again, stats can be misleading, but when you put them all together, usually there's a good picture there.
Yeah, because it's interesting that you bring that up, because I remember looking at the stat after the game and thinking, although it was 2 late wins, 2 late goals, and credit for Crystal Palace for their, defensive resiliency, I think it was a fair reflection, because, as we said, we were creating more chances their approach, obviously, like Terry said, he kind of hit the nail on the head perfectly. They came to Goodison to frustrate us and, you know, be tough. You've got to feel for them in that they kind of blew their golden opportunities to go ahead. You think about that fact that they did hit the bar and they missed a penalty even though the keeper went the wrong way. Okay, yeah, you feel sorry for them, but after that, I feel they just blew out of steam. I don't think they could have created much more, and obviously with the fresh legs coming on off the bench, I think we merited the win.
Yeah, to be fair to them, they had two very good chances, very good ones. So that's where stats can be, you know, misleading. But however, I still think we deserve to win. You know, by 1 goal, not really by 2, but I'll take it.
Here's a quick stat, just while we're on stats. Did you know that Idrissa Gueye committed 1 foul and got booked?
You're kidding.
And Wilfried Zaha committed 5 fouls and wasn't booked.
Yeah.
Now, he does get fouled. In the ground, I understand you feel like he's throwing himself everywhere and stuff like that, but yeah, he does get fouled a lot. He's a very, very good player. He's difficult to play against, but he's persistently fouling other players as well, and because he's got a reputation, oh well, he gets fouled, so let's not book him. So it's just ridiculous. But yeah, that was just the stat that I took away from him. He got fouled. Player is grounds for a yellow card for persistent fouling, but the ref wasn't having his best.
Well, question: do you think the ref approached Gueye's yellow card like it's an automatic yellow because he saw it? The guy was kind of sprinting. Zaha was sprinting toward midfield, and he kind of pulled him back. Sometimes it's an automatic thing, right?
I mean, I'm not suggesting for a second that that's not a yellow card for Gueye. It was absolutely a yellow card, but it's just the fact that Zaha.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going.
Was and just not getting it. He should have been easily booked as well. Like, he was getting a bit of a tough time for our defenders. He does everywhere. He's got it a lot worse at other grounds than he got it here, but doesn't give him a free license to just go around fouling everyone himself. But on every single metric, we were value for the win. I think what people mean when we say it was harsh on Palace, I mean, if they'd have got something, it wouldn't have been a fluke because they'd have executed their game plan really well. But it wasn't harsh. They weren't better than us in any sort of measurable way. They just weren't vastly inferior. They had a good game plan, but it didn't work. Got them through to 87 minutes. Then our manager changed the players, and that changed the game. Fair value for a win for Everton.
And just to be clear, if we say players like weaker performers, I think there weren't a lot of players where you watch the game and you're like, well, they played shit, didn't they? I think Bernard struggled a bit because he was up against a good player. You know,
he got tired. He was shattered.
He's still dealing with the physicality and getting all the way up to be able to play more minutes. We're subbing him usually around the 65, 70 minute range and not letting him go much more past that, and probably shouldn't let him go how much more past that right now, right?
It's a good learning curve for him. I mean, he's going to come up against defenders like that in this league. Like, Wan-Bissaka is a beast. Let's be honest. He's very, very good fullback, and Bernard's very new to the league. So it's just something, you know, he'll have learned a lot from that performance. Going, I'm going to have to change it up a little bit. He didn't have a good game, Bernard. Walcott was one of his more anonymous performances, but they weren't outright bad. They were just playing against two what I think very strong fullbacks, kept them quiet. So it was down to the other players to help them out, because Bernard, the star man last week, and Walcott was earned us points already this season. They can't do it every week, so it's down to some of the others to step in, and they did.
And that's the benefit of having a decent bench. You can sit there and throw in fresh legs and not really lose a lot. You know, Lookman came in for Walcott, and he is different than Walcott. There's something like different about his game. I feel like Walcott's a guy who will straight out outrun you over 20 yards, and Lookman, with that tight control, he likes to kind of bring you one way and then take you another, and then immediately look to either cross or shoot very quickly. So
yeah, Lookman dances with the fullback.
That assist was
Walcott just leaves them for dead. Yeah. Lovely ball, wasn't it?
Crazy good cross. Anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else we need to breach here. I think we've covered everything in terms of what we were thinking. Anything else?
Pickford pen shape, get the rave on, carry on being great.
See, I was this close to tweeting "get the rave on" after he did that, but I'm like, no. If we lose, then people will say, "Oh, how's that working out for you?" Or this tweet didn't age well, and that kind of, So I was like, I'll hang back, wait a little bit. But yeah,
never gloat mid game. Never gloat mid game.
No.
I've learned that. I'm 40 years old. It's the only thing I've learned in life. All right, guys. So I guess that's it for our Palace match reaction. We smile. That's our reaction. So if you've been digging our videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We're sitting on 1260 something subs, slowly crawling our way toward 1300. If you'd like more Terry, just to consume his essence, you can find him on the Liverpool Echo fan jury. So check out his Twitter profile. He'll tell you all about it. Also, Max's Twitter profile has things to say. He shows up on just everyone's podcast nowadays. So yeah, check that out. And you know what? He showed up on the Instant Match Reaction with Edward, so you should check that out too. Why not? Also check out the Toffee Blues website. Analysis abounds. Gentlemen, that's it. Let's go talk about Zuma. How about that? Ready? And bye.